This is going to be one of our most involved automations. It really is beautiful and super rewarding at the end. So hang in there. It's going to be a two-part automation because it is so extensive, but follow along and it's going to be a lot of fun. What we're going to do is create an onboarding automation. So the idea here is a lead finally closed and we have a brand new customer or client, and the first thing we want to do is validate a lot of the information we might have collected pre-sales and start this customer off on the right foot. And so the way we're going to do that is have the customer fill out a new customer questionnaire. In this questionnaire, we are going to capture a lot of valuable information and do so many things that is going to help jumpstart the relationship with the customer and help the customer success team to hit the ground running, to prepare the sales team for future growth, to make sure the marketing team is following their socials. There's so much involved. So let's tackle it in two parts. For this first part, we'll jump into Zapier and we're going to go to onboarding new customer. And like I said, we create a new customer questionnaire, and we're going to do that in Wufoo. So before we connect that and go any further, we're going to jump over into that form and we're going to fill it out as an example. So here it is. The idea again is this is sent to the customer as soon as they close, and they're going to validate and finish a lot of this information. So let's just go ahead and fill out an example here. Let's say my name is Jack Nichols. Fill out an email and a company. We'll say this is for National Music Rentals. I go through. The next question is tell us your why. Why are you using our product? What's the big picture? I might say we needed to grow quickly, and so using your product was a no-brainer. Awesome. Okay. And then an Instagram account might be Nashville Music Rentals. Something like, are you interested in being featured on our social channels? This is where the marketing team is going to get notified later on whether or not we can talk about this relationship. Let's go ahead and say yes for this example. And then lastly, does your team have plans to grow in the future? I'm going to say, yeah, we do have plans to grow. In fact, we plan to grow just before the summer of this year. Okay, great. It's all filled out. And we're going to click submit. So as a new customer, I just filled out the form. It was pretty easy for me. And then now we're going to switch gears and be the company and look at the automation to set that up, have it do a lot of great things for us. So the trigger is simple, right? Someone fills out that form. And so we're going to connect Wufoo, select the trigger to be new entry. The account is connected. The form we want is that new customer questionnaire, so that's what we select. We'll click continue. Let's get more samples and use the one we just used. Let's make sure that's the right one. Perfect. Jack Nichols. And we'll click continue. Okay, so the trigger is set up. The very first action we want to have happened is to create or update a contact in our HubSpot CRM. So most likely the sales team has already created this contact and it's in there, but maybe the purchaser is different than our day-to-day user. And so the assumption here is that the day-to-day user is actually filling out this new customer questionnaire. So we're going to make sure that they are added into HubSpot. So we'll connect HubSpot CRM. We'll create or update a contact, which basically means we're going to search for the contact. If it's not there, we're going to create one. The account is connected. The contact's email address we take directly from the form. So there it is. And then we fill out the first and last name here in the same way, straight from that form entry that was pulled in, first and last name. And then lastly, the company name here, which they filled out as well. Company, National Music Rentals. Okay, we'll click continue. The test was successful. Here it is. A test update contact was sent. We're going to retest this step just to make sure it has all the right information. There's the email. Perfect. Send the test over. Great. We got the green light. And we're going to look to see how all this works at the very end, but we trust Zapier right now. We're going to move on to the next step. Okay, this next step is to create a folder in Google Drive. We're going to need a folder for this customer to upload a whole bunch of things and have information that's shared across teams. We're going to use Google Drive as that company one place for all the files and folders. And so we connect Google Drive and we're going to find a folder. Now this is the action that we're going to take so that we don't create any duplicates. If there is a folder with a customer name, then we're going to skip this step. But if there's not, we're going to go ahead and create that folder. So I chose find a folder. We're going to make sure the Google Drive account is connected, and it is. The folder name is based on the company name from the entry. So that's where we go, is that Wufoo new entry, and select the company name. And then we have create Google Drive folder if it doesn't exist yet. It's just a checkbox, super easy. Click continue. Test successful. We're going to make sure that this was run correctly. It shows us all the information. Great. We're going to click fetch and continue. It's going to give us a green light. Yep. And there we go. Okay, so that's the end of part 1. We're going to continue this automation in part 2 in the next lecture. We'll see you there.